Okay, let's talk about reloadables. What's a reloadable? What's the difference between this and a cake that we were discussing earlier? So this is a single ignition item, but it's a single shot, as opposed to lighting a cake where you get multiple shots. So with the reloadables here, you're gonna load this particular one right here, comes with a single tube. You're gonna drop the ball shell, you're gonna unwind it, drop the ball shell into the tube, make sure the fuse is out, sticking out clear. Once again, all of our safety things, the safety checklist is make sure your ground area is clear, make sure your audience is back 75 feet, make sure you're not near any trees, make sure you have full clearance, make sure the wind's not blowing too much. Now we're really getting into like wind. And you want to make sure you're not shooting fireworks, either cakes or aerials or any sort of fireworks in any sort of high wind. You're going to want to make sure that all your fireworks, you want to keep them in the box that they came in. You don't want to have them all spread out on the ground. That's a recipe for disaster, because an errant spark could create a much worse situation. And so you want to always keep your fireworks in their boxes. So you want to get the tube out of the box, put it on a flat surface. Once again, you're going to want to do the same sort of bracing with a tube for either a ball shell or a canister shell that you do for a 250 gram cake. One at a time, single thing, drop the ball shell in. The long fuse will definitely go out of the top of the tube. You're going to light it. You're going to want to retreat quickly, do not run, and enjoy the show. Basically, we have kits that go from single to actually 6 shots, to much larger when it comes to ball shells, and the same thing for canister shells. Let's talk about canister shells. All right, what's the difference between a ball shell and a canister shell? A lot. So a ball shell is going to have much less pyrotechnic composition than a canister shell. Canister shells basically come in a couple sizes if they're full size 1.75 canisters. They're roughly going to be around 60 grams maximum, but between 45 and 60 grams, depending on the particular kit and effect and whatnot. Once again, single shot ignition, same thing as the ball shell. You're gonna have the tube, you're gonna put the canister in the gun or the tube with a fuse sticking out. You're gonna light it. It gives you plenty of time to get back. Once again, the rule on both of these, just like all fireworks, never, ever lean over the tube when it has a shell in it. Many times when there's a dud with a canister shell or a ball shell, people lean over the tube and bad things can possibly happen. If that happens, if for whatever reason either device does not shoot, you step away and you leave that device there for 45 minutes, it's done for the night. And unfortunately, if it's a kit like this where you only have one tube, unfortunately you gotta stop. When you try to go there and relight a dud or relight one of these sort of things, that's when bad things happen and people get injured. So you're gonna wanna make sure that your tube is clean and clear. If it does ignite, stay away, move on. Okay, so let's talk about canister shells and what's the difference between these sizes. You have 4-inch, 5-inch, and 6-inch. This particular one is a 5-inch. So a 4-inch is gonna be like a single break. Primarily it's gonna go up, be a big loud single break. A 5-inch could have multiple effects. Many 5-inches have what we call a mine, which is sort of almost like a fountain effect out of the gun, and then an aerial break. Sometimes you do get a double break with a 5-inch shell. Sometimes you do get like ring shell effects where it actually breaks in a ring, or there's some special effects. Most 6-inch shells are either most 6-inch shells are double break shells, where they're gonna have multiple breaks. We've heard of triple break 6-inch shells also, but a 6-inch shell is going to have multiple breaks, once again loud. The difference is they all have to have 60 grams. They can't have more. So a 6-inch shell is not going to have more than 60 grams. A 4-inch shell is not going to have more than 60 grams. But 60 grams is plenty enough for a great shell. Most shell kits come with a ratio of shells and tubes, and there's a reason why. You should only shoot, say you have a 24-shot shell kit that comes with 4 tubes, you should match 6 shells per tube. So once you've gone through 6 shells, change the tube, go through the next 6, change the tube, go to the next 6, and then the final 6 shoot with the last tube. With a ball shell, you kind of have a different thing because it's less powder. You might have 12 shots with a ball shell. You could use the same tube with that. Once again, if you do the math, if there's 12 balls and 1 tube, you know you're good. If there's 12 balls and 2 tubes, then you need to go 6 and 6. If you're on canisters, and this particular one is only a 6-shot, you know that you could do all 6 with 1 tube. With Black Cat being the manufacturer, and this is pretty much standard with most fireworks companies, we highly recommend that you use the tube that came with the kit. The one thing you do never, ever want to do with any sort of reloadable shell is shoot it out of a homemade tube, especially PVC. I was saying that I do on forums, on Facebook, and on the internet, PVC kills. A homemade PVC tube, it puts you in danger, it puts your audience in danger, it is reckless. PVC and fireworks do not go together.